Hey folks, it's Wade Motawi, the Shoe Dog. Welcome to the Shoemakers Academy. Today, I want to talk to you about something near and dear to my heart. This is the Footwear Developers 10-point checklist. This is something that I've developed over the course of my many years in footwear development, and I want to share this with you. Um, just a little bit about me, why you should listen to me. I started out as a footwear designer, became a developer and a product manager, and I've spent a ton of time working with lots of different brands and product lines of my own, and I've spent plenty of time, in the shoe factory, whether it's working on tooling or walking the assembly line. I've been there and done that, and I enjoy teaching folks the right way to do this so you can avoid headache and heartache. Listen, if you haven't been to the Shoemakers Academy website, please check that out. There's tons of great material here. We have books, courses, tools, kits. If you're interested in a career in footwear in the business or as a designer, then come on over, check it out. We have tons of online courses too if you want to dig a little deeper. If you're a career changer or you're a designer that wants to learn development or developer that wants to learn designer or you want to start your own shoe company, we got all kind of great stuff for you. But listen, let's talk about when you're sitting down to work on a project, and this is an evaluation that I have to make almost every day when I'm working with new clients. So um, okay, so number one, does your project have an approved last? So, you know, a last is one thing, but an approved last is another. Um, the last is the core to making your product successful, and it takes a while to develop it. And if you're on a time crunch and your last is not right, and you just keep going forward, then everything that you do is a mistake on top of a mistake. So it's really important that when you set out to create a timeline that you have an approved last. You're gonna have to build time into your schedule to approve it. Whether you find a shoe and have the last factory replicate the last, you're gonna have to try it and check it out to make sure because there's a ton of time required to get this done, and it'll wreck your schedule. So do your best to get that out of the way as soon as you can. Okay. Um, are your shoe drawings and specifications complete? This is pretty important. I mean, obviously, when you start out to create a shoe, not all the problems are solved, not all the details are filled in, but really do your best to make things complete. Because if you hand over a half done specification to the factory, number one, they just won't do it. They won't take you seriously. But number two, what are you going to get? So do your best to really keep it crisp, put in every detail, and if there's holes in the specification, then at least let everyone know, and that should be part of your plan to fill in those gaps. Do you have a realistic target price for the shoe? Now, this is incredibly important because you can waste a ton of time gold plating a design with all this fancy stuff, and your product manager is going to come back and say, "Hey man, that thing was supposed to cost $12, not $20." So really try to have a realistic target price in mind. Our shoe material design guide book can help you with that because you start to understand what material or what technology or what midsole goes in at what price, and you'll develop some instinct. And that's actually just standing in front of a shoe wall and looking at the $150 shoe and the $50 shoe will kind of start to tell you what what's in the market at those prices and what's realistic to that issue. But also having a target price means being able to work it backwards and understanding how your import situation works and your overhead and all that good gory detail so that you can walk into a factory with credibility and say, "Yeah, man, here's the drawing and we think the price should be around this area. Help us get there." Okay. Do you see any technical problems, right? And this is part of the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns, right? When you look at a drawing, and you see some injection piece or some technology piece, is it look like a something that you just have to go through and develop, or is it like, hey, this is a whole new technology that we have to figure out? Because there's some items that you look at it and go, oh, okay, we just need to make a sample and adjust a few things, and there's other things that require some radically new technology or mold that you've never seen before. So look at those look at those issues and try to get out in front of it. Does your shoe require new tooling? Again, this is pretty important because it all comes down to money and time. If you're using off the shelf equipment, right, that your company already operates or you own, great. If you need new equipment, then you got to put that into the schedule and build a process to make sure that you can design it, develop it, and get it done on time. Which is the next one: is do you have a realistic timeline for your project? So footwear is a seasonal business, and whether it's spring, fall, summer, or holiday, you're gonna have a target for when the shoe's supposed to be ready. And if your sandals are ready in June, then you've missed the season. They need to be ready in January so that they can land at the retailers, in March and April. And when the snow melts, the sandals are there, right? Same thing. Your winter boots, you know, you've got to have those things done and dusted in August, right? So that when the snow falls, they're already in the store. Because think about, you got to get them delivered, right? Get on a boat, get to the warehouse, get out to your retailers. Retailers got to stock it. That all takes time. And if you're doing a seasonal product like that, you've got to be realistic about it. And I've worked in a case where the client was late, and if they put the shoes on the boat, they were going to miss. And they had to make a decision of, hey, we're going to air freight some shoes, because if you miss, if you're a seasonal project and you miss, then you miss a year, and you might miss your company if you can't deliver. So it's yeah, have a realistic time frame. Um, do you have a shoe factory with the right capabilities? Now, I run into this a lot. Folks, they find something on Alibaba and they get in there, and the factory is just really not have the capability to make what you want to make, or they're not an export grade, or whatever. This is a pretty important. And if you're a brand that's we're sort of branching out, like, okay, you made winter boots, now you need to make sandals. Your winter boot factory could say, yeah, yeah, we can make sandals, but the answer is you've got the overhead of a big old boot factory, and for sandals, you don't need that. So understanding the capabilities that your products are going to need, and making sure that your factories can handle it efficiently, right? A lot of factories just say yes, yes, yes. But if you get into the factory, you don't see the right equipment, then you're like, wait a minute. You said yes to waterproof, but I don't see a flexing machine or a testing machine or a seam sealing machine. Like, that's not right. So again, really, as a developer, you have to evaluate factories to know that they're the right thing for your product. Now, this is a little reflection. Now, when you get when a tech pack lands on your desk, as a developer, you need to decide: do you have the capabilities and the experience to make this project successful? I definitely have had a project land on my desk and go, man, I don't know how to do this, and that's okay. You're here because we know lots of people that know lots of things, and if you run into a situation where you don't know how to do it, then it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask. Um, Now, this is sometimes, you want to be the whistleblower or whatever, but if you see anything that's gonna wreck up the schedule, or interfere with the price of the product, then you've got to say something, right? And as a developer, you're responsible for looking out for those things. I've seen this product where, okay, this is an inexpensive product, and the designer, I don't know, for example, specified like 9-color embroidery. Well, hey, this is not that kind of shoe, right? Or okay, you've specified an embroidery logo, but it's on like 3 different panels of the shoe, which means it has to go 3 different cut parts have to be sent out for embroidery. or something like that, that obviously is beyond the price of the shoe, right? Oh, you know, so that's something you got to be careful about. And then also same thing with scheduling. Um, if you get pretty far into a project and you realize you got to scrap the tooling and start over, well, hey, sometimes good is good enough and great is next season. You just have to be on the lookout for those things. And if there's something that you see in a specification or in a sample that looks like it's going wrong, raise your hand and let everyone know about it. Even if you figure it out in 2 or 3 days, but just let people know that you see an issue, and you'll never be the bad guy. You're just doing your job. And again, as a developer, I always say that the developer is the most important person on the development team. Yes, you've got designers and product managers, but it really is the developer that sometimes has to negotiate between the designer's intent, the product manager's requirements, the factory's capabilities, and sometimes you have to negotiate with time and space. I know that's not. What do you mean, Wade? What does that mean? Well, hey, that means you know if you're running into an issue and it's going to cause a delay, then you have to let people know, like, hey, if you're going to make that decision, then if we want to catch the schedule, then we'll have to either air freight the raw material or air freight the finished shoes, or if you have a firm grasp of where the shoe is in the development process, then you'll know months in advance whether something's running late. Because if you wait till the end and you're 2 months late, you can't do anything about it, right? But if you as a developer are on top of it and you understand the technical issues and the scheduling issues, and if you see any issues, you got to handle it right up front. If you wait till the end and that piece of equipment's not working, and then all of a sudden it is wrecking the schedule, as a developer, it's important for you to solve the problem, whether it's a design change or a product manager expectation change or a schedule change or a season change. If you can, it really is up to the developer. So um, that's my take on it. I mean, again, I started out as a designer and a developer, and I've been a product manager. So I've been up to my eyeballs in these things. I've had projects that go super smooth, everything works great, and other projects that are a complete disaster that it all ends in tears. And but you learn from those, and here we're here to help. Swing out over Shoemakers Academy. There's lots of ways to get in touch with me. If you're into the manufacturing situation, if your design or development is ready and you're ready to find a factory, we can help you with that too. This is a crew of people that I work with that we handle that kind of sourcing. And again, if you're running into issues and you want some help, then go ahead and reach out to me. You can book a chat. I appreciate you here watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Swing on over to the website. If you subscribe to the website, you get on our mailing list. I promise we'll bombard you with coupons. And whenever new stuff is ready, again, you can email me, the shoe dog at shoemakersacademy.com. You can book a chat with me. You can call me or text me. And right here on the screen is SMAEM50. That's actually a discount code. So you made it to the end. I appreciate that. And this is worth $50 on any course that's on the website. Hey, folks, I appreciate you taking the time to be here, and we'll see you in the next one.